We're really good.
Oh,
Thank you.
good. I mean, I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to see this. Although to be honest, I think it's Christopher Robin's fault, but we'll unpack that in a moment. So I'd like to know what it was like on the set a second time now for the sequel.
It was yeah, it was really exciting being on the sequel compared to the first film because we had a lot of things improve for us. So obviously with the first film, we had budgetary limitations and kind of scope limitations, and it was fun. The first film, like definitely not, it wasn't like a bad experience. Probably actually one of the most fun I've had on the set. But we didn't really have an appreciation of the sort of kind of scale and scope it was going to at the time. So when we got
Sure.
to the new film, which we shot about 6 months ago now, we there was a story we cultivated the story over months and months. We had extremely good people in all departments, from the actors, from like Scott to like Simon Callow, to Alec Newman and such, to the prosthetics and the gore in the movie from the prosthetic studio who did like Voldemort and Captain America. Or no, they did Red Skull from Captain America. So everything has massively stepped up, and it was really nice to see all of these aspects in person for me, because it's I can kind of see the evolution of what my initial vision was and what I would have basically loved to have made on the first film if I had the means.
No, yeah, I totally get that. And how about you, Scott?
It
You
was crazy. Well, obviously in the first one, I produced it. I didn't act in that movie as Christopher Robin. So Reese said to me in pre-production very early on, he was like, "Look, I'm actually gonna basically reset Winnie the Pooh, and I'm gonna make the first film a film within this film, so we can just reset everything, get new designs in, all that kind of stuff." And he was like, "So therefore, we're gonna need a new Christopher Robin." And Reese has been along my acting journey and a supporter to me, like my best friend for since the beginning, really. And he was like, he's always been nice about my acting, and he was like, I'd love you to play the role. And I was like, yeah, cool. We've got a bigger budget, so I'm sure it will be. I can just focus on the acting. Nope. 3 days before we began filming, 3 days before we began filming, our production designer forward slash costume designer pulled out, and
Oh
I soon
no.
learned that not much work had been done. Reese is freaking out. Literally, he's burning out by this point, and he's shooting in 3 days. So my script went down, and I was like, right, okay, let's do some costume designing. So I ordered all the raver costumes. So there's about 80 ravers. I had no idea that you couldn't just order a medium or large or small for a female. I now realize there's other things to consider. Um, I learned that in an all-nighter. So, and then I was ordering hospital supplies for the hospital scenes. It was just crazy. But we got on set, and Reese promised me that he would always have my back. And I believe so much in Reese. He had £20,000 to make the first film. We also made 47 feature films that year, and he works incredibly hard. Not only is he my best friend, but I truly, truly believe in him. So when he said, "Will you do it? I'll make sure that you never come across bad. I've got your back." I went, yeah, let's do it. And it was crazy. At one point, I have a chainsaw that's on fire, smashing through a car door trying to hit me. So, yeah, weird.
I love that. I think it's really great just to hear the passion that you all have been that you put into the first one, and I love seeing how it just sounds like, and honestly, with just seeing other interviews and everybody, it just sounds like this was a blast um,
Yeah.
to work, like to be on set. And so I guess one of my questions then really is how much bigger is the body count? Because I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah, a lot. So yeah, I
Yeah, you're going to be happy.
it's a good the set atmosphere is actually really nice, and like the byproduct of that is because we're a bit like a rep company when we were making it. Like we use a lot of the same people,
Hmm.
so we have the same DOP, like the same crew, and they're all such lovely people. Like when we went to the screening, like after the film, where everyone's just so nice. Like it's such a really good little group together, and we're
Yeah, we
all
don't
really
work with
early.
divas ever.
Yeah, and we're all really early in our filmmaking careers. It was just such a blast and so fun. And the death scenes in this film, there's so many. Like I was intimidated, like the writer and everyone who read this was really intimidated at the start, because like we had like Josh Stolberg, the writer of Saw X, and he was like, I don't know how you guys are going to pull this off on that budget. And the other co-writer, Matt, he was like, yeah, guys, this is you're trying to achieve a lot. You're being very ambitious. But it's like, no, like trust us. Like you saw what we did on the first film on the money. Like we can do this on the second. And yeah, like they both saw the trailer and they were like, and obviously Matt saw the film and he's like, fucking hell, like he goes, it's really, really good. And they were like, and it's
But with the
you've
death
done all of these
scenes,
things. And yeah, we have like the
yeah,
body count must be like it's like
is like
60, isn't it?
60.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah,
people die
and
in
it's
this.
crazy. Like everyone, you're gonna have so much is on camera. You get chase scenes. There's some really creative deaths. Like everyone has their own favorite thing. Like there's one involving a bear trap. There's one involving someone with a dog chain, and they're getting held in place while they're getting gutted. There's something to do with eyeballs. It's crazy. Reese
Yeah,
has killed it, and yeah,
there's a lot in here. And because like something really fun with this is rather than just having one monster, I've had four, which is hard to do anyway, because now you've got four creatures to contend with. They all have their own like unique elements to them and like behaviors, and ways of killing people. So for example, Al is very monologue-y, so he loves to monologue someone before he kills them. Pooh is more like Jason, so he just wants to cut heads off straight away and move on. And Tigger's a lot more sadistic, is elements of like Freddy Krueger and Art the Clown in him as well. So he just likes watching the suffering and he'll prolong it for as long as he can. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
And it's funny hearing that about Al, because I just spoke with Marcus, and and just all the puns I was like, okay, I'm sold.
You get an idea. If you
yeah.
speak to Marcus, you get an idea of what Al's going to be like, because he's like an embodiment of him. He just won't stop. So that's why he lends himself to the monologue side of it.
I love that. So I guess my final question, and again, I appreciate you guys taking the time to speak with me, is just what was it like then? I know you guys just had the premiere 2 days ago, just seeing everyone getting to see the film for the first time.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was like I definitely believe in the film and like going into it, and so did a lot of other people. Like Matt, the writer, was telling me, goes, guys, I think this is gonna really shock a lot of people and it's gonna have a very, very good reception. But to be honest, like going into this, I've built up a big kind of wall to like because following on from the first film, it's brutal. Like filmmaking is brutal, especially low budget filmmaking, because people are directly comparing you to big stuff. So you get hurled a lot of like criticisms all the time. It's like it's not as good as this 35 million pound film. It's like, yeah, it was shot, it was made on nothing in comparison, like of course. So you have to build up this kind of like quite a thick skin and a wall with it. And I'm a little bit reluctant. I was a bit reluctant going into it of like letting it down a bit. It's like I did believe in it, but I was like, okay, look, just leave it for a while because you never know. But then we had the premiere and it was like non-stop all like compliments, even though it's a biased audience, because you have to take it with a pinch of salt. There are people who are there who I believe would give me an honest opinion, because they have done before. Like they've said they disliked the first film to me and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, it's fine. Like it's good to have those, it's good to have that honesty sometimes though. But even those people, when they saw it, were like, they came to me after and they were like, honestly, it's the most fun they've had in the cinema all year. And they were saying they're really, really like surprised in how it's turned out, and they're really positive about it. So it's making me think, okay, more and more so that this is gonna do what everyone's telling me it will. So yeah, I think it's gonna
It will.
surprise a lot of people.
Reese has made a genuinely really fucking cool film here. Like, obviously, Reese has got a thick skin and he's got a wall up because of what happened, and hats off to him, because I personally don't know honestly I really admire him for that, because the abuse he got on Instagram was just disgusting, and YouTube or whatever. But with the sequel, I think he's done it. I really think he has done it. Like the it's got heart. the story, the mystery throughout the story, because you're going to find out more about these creatures, where they came from, their relation to other characters within the story. There's great, really frigging great acting. Simon Callow, his scene, it's wicked. There's gonna be a clip releasing, I don't know when, but in the next couple of days. So good.
It caught me off guard that he was in. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will say this, and I do think people were just maybe too harsh, because you made a very good point
Yeah.
in terms of budget. And also from the reactions that I saw, and just from somebody who's even on our podcast, from probably one of his favorite movies of the year. And I think that really goes to yeah, like it's just like,
no, but Reese needs to hear that. Like, honestly,
like,
geez, the shit he's put up with. So
you just need to go out to the reaction community and watch their reaction to Blood and Honey, the first one, because there's just
I think we're scared.
excitement of the first one and just enjoying it, because that's what movies really are about. They're entertainment.
Yeah.
You always find something positive, even if you may not like a film, because again, there's so much that goes into it from you all, the filmmakers. And so I just love hearing the passion, and just keep at it. And you know what?
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
they're gonna hate.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you've got to no one's going to be like, this is what I was saying to Scott and other people, is like, no one starts out being 10 out of 10 at what they do. Any job you go into, you're learning, you're developing, you're getting better. We're quite like young filmmakers, and I haven't been directing in a massive amount of time, really. Like, it's only been like the last 3 years I introduced to the industry. So I know if I just keep going at it, I keep doing it, I'm just going to get better and better and better. So that's the idea.
Well, again, thank you so much, and just to both of you, congrats. Seriously, it takes a lot to
make a film.
Oh,
thanks so much.
I'm excited. Can't wait to see it.
I hope you like it.
Thank you.